Hi everyone, welcome to the session of ECA, Electronic Circuit Analysis. In this class, you will learn about the power amplifier. That is, what is power amplifier? What is the difference between the voltage amplifier and power amplifier? What is the classification of power amplifiers we have? So these topics we will cover in this class. In previous class, we have completed unit 4, that is oscillators. So in that unit, we have covered what is meant by oscillator, what are the types of oscillators, and what is the frequency of oscillation. That means F value as well as A and beta values. Depending on A and beta, we can get some oscillations. So, and the related problems we have covered in that chapter. So in fifth unit, we have two parts. One is power amplifier, another one is tuned amplifiers. So this is first part. So in this session or in this part, we will discuss about the power amplifier. What is meant by power amplifier? Classification. What are the types of amplifiers we have, and what is the efficiency for each and every amplifier? So what is meant by heat sink? So these topics we will cover in this part. Okay. So first one, what is meant by power amplifier? So normally we know any amplifier consists of few stages of amplification. So depending on the required level of amplification, we are inserting number of stages. Already we know multi-stage amplifier. We are using some multi-stage amplifier to get some required level of amplification. So any amplifier consists of number of stages or few stages to get the required level of amplification. So if you consider some audio amplification or audio amplifier, so it has several stages of amplification depending on our requirement. So like normal amplifier, if you take some audio amplification, it also has several stages of amplification, or we can also call it as multi-stage amplifier. So why we are using multi-stage amplifier? So if you are using some single stage amplifier, that amplification is not sufficient for us. So in order to get some better amplification, we are using a number of stages. We are connecting number of stages. So in the audio amplification also, we are connecting several number of stages to get the required amount of the amplification. Okay. So after the audio amplification, audio signal is converted into some electrical signal. So it has some several number of stages or voltage amplifiers. By the use of voltage amplifiers, the voltage amplification is done. After the power amplification of the amplified signal is done just before the loudspeaker stage. So if you take some audio amplification, then after the audio signal is converted into electrical signal, first the audio signal is generated, then the audio signal is converted into some electrical signal. And by the use of number of stages, we are using a number of stages or voltage amplifiers. By the use of those voltage amplifiers, voltage amplification is done. After the voltage amplification, power amplification is done. That is, the power is amplified to the required level just before the loudspeaker stage. So here we have the figure. So this figure, in this figure, so let us consider this is microphone and we have some audio signal. That is, some person is speaking at this stage. Okay, that is nothing but sound signal or audio signal. So that signal is amplified. This is loudspeaker. Okay, so before giving the signal to the loudspeaker, here the sound signal or audio signal is converted into some electrical signal, and that electrical signal is amplified by the use of number of voltage amplifiers. Okay, up to the required level. Okay, and before giving to the amplified signal to the loudspeaker, that is amplified by the use of power amplifier. By the use of power amplifier. So this is the figure which represents this topic. So this point. So after the audio signal is converted or the sound signal is converted into some electrical signal, it has some voltage amplifiers, and voltage amplifiers perform some voltage amplification. And after the voltage amplification, the power amplification will be done by the use of power amplifier before the loudspeaker stage. So here the sound signal is amplified. The sound signal is amplified up to the required level by the use of these amplifiers. So that is the operation here. And next, while the voltage amplifier raises the voltage level of the signal, the power amplifier raises the power level of the signal. So voltage amplifier means it increases or it raises the voltage level of the signal, whereas the power amplifier raises the power level of the signal. So in addition to the increasing, that is in addition of power increase, the power amplifier also do the operation. That is, it can also be said that the power amplifier is a device which converts some DC power into AC power, which converts DC power to AC power, and whose action is controlled by the input signal. So normally the power amplifier raises the power level. In addition to that operation, the power amplifier also converts the DC power into AC power. It converts DC power into AC power. So the DC power which we are applying is also represented as AC power output plus losses. So this is the DC power input. That is, we are applying some DC power that is converted into some AC power by the use of power amplifier, and also we have some losses. Okay. And next, this is the figure of power amplifier which represents the power amplifier. And next, so if you are using some power amplifier, or if you are performing some power amplification, we are using some power transistor. So for such power amplification, a normal transistor would not be used. So what is meant by power transistor? So a transistor that is manufactured for the purpose of power amplification only, it is called a power transistor. So the transistor specially manufactured to improve the power or for the purpose of power amplification, it is called power transistor. Okay. So power transistor is different from the normal transistor in the following factors. So here we have some factors. So first one is it is larger in size. So normally if you compare normal transistor with the power transistor size is very large. In order to handle some large powers, the size of the power transistor is very high. Okay. So here the power transistor handles with large powers. So that's why the size of the transistor is very high. And next, the collector region, why the size is very high? Means the collector region of the transistor is made very large, and heat sink is placed at the collector to base junction in order to minimize the heat which is generated in the transistor. So why the size of the power transistor is high? Because the collector region, we have three regions for every transistor: emitter, base, and collector. So normally here in the power transistor, the collector region is very large, is made large because here a heat sink is placed at the collector to base junction. A heat sink is placed at the junction, collector to base junction, in order to minimize the heat which is generated in the transistor. Normally, if you are using some power transistor, it deals with large powers. That means large power is dissipated in the transistor. If there is some large power, automatically heat is also very high. So if the heat is in the transistor may damage. Okay. So that's why in order to dissipate the heat to surroundings, or in order to minimize the heat in the transistor, we are placing a heat sink in the collector, at the collector to base junction. Okay, so collector region is made large, and hence the size of the power transistor is also high. And next, emitter to base, the doping is also different compared to the normal transistor. So here the emitter base regions are heavily doped. The emitter and base regions are heavily doped. Doping means you are adding some impurities to the region. Okay. So here the emitter base regions are heavily doped. Next, the input resistance is also very. If due to the low input resistance, it requires low input power. The input resistance is also low, and input power is also low. So hence there is a lot of difference between voltage amplification and power amplification. So these are the differences of power transistor with normal transistor. And what is the difference between power amplifier and voltage amplifier? So difference between voltage amplifier and power amplifier. If you take voltage amplifier, what is the function of voltage amplifier? So the function of voltage amplifier is to raise the voltage level of the signal. In order to increase the voltage level, we are using some voltage amplifier. Okay. So voltage amplifier is designed to achieve some maximum voltage amplification. In order to get maximum voltage, we are using voltage amplifier. And the voltage amplifier of voltage gain of voltage amplifier is AV is equal to beta into RC by RN. So what are the characteristics of voltage amplifier? We have some characteristics. First, the base of the transistor should be thin. If you take some voltage amplifier, in that amplifier we are using some normal transistor, and the base of that transistor should be very thin. And the value of beta is also approximately 100 or greater than 100. Okay. And next, the resistance of input, the resistor, that is Rin, should also be low. The input resistance should also be low when compared to the collector resistance, RC. And third one, collector resistance RC should be relatively high. The collector resistance is very high. So to permit collector load, the voltage amplifiers are always operated at low collector current. So here we have low collector resistance. Sorry, here we have low input resistance compared to the collector resistance, and collector resistance is high and collector current is low. Collector current is low, collector resistance is high, and input resistance is low. And voltage amplifiers are used for small signal voltages. For the voltage amplifiers, we are using small signals. We are giving some small signals. Okay. And whereas if you consider some power amplifier, what is the purpose of power amplifier? What is the use of power amplifier? The function of power amplifier is to raise the power level of the input signal. In the voltage amplifier, it increases or it rises the voltage level. In power amplifier, it increases or it rises the power level. So it is required to deliver a large amount of power and has to handle large current. So in the power amplifier, it is required to deliver a large amount of power. It deals with large amount of power and has to handle large current. Current also very large. So what are the characteristics of power amplifiers? So here, the base of the transistor is made thickened to handle large currents. So here, if you take some normal voltage amplifier, the collector current is very low. The collector current is low. Here, the collector current is high. Here, the collector current is high. And next, here the base region is thin. Notice here the base region is, that is, if you take some voltage amplifier, base region is thin. If you take the power amplifier, base region is thick. Okay, that is the difference. And beta is also very high. Beta is greater than 100. And next, the size of the transistor is made larger compared to the voltage amplifier. Power transistor size is larger in order to dissipate more heat. It handles with large power. If you have some large power, the heat dissipation is also very high. That is, it dissipates high heat. So in order to dissipate more heat to the surroundings, which is produced during the transistor operation, the size of the transistor is also very high. Already I have mentioned in the power transistor why we are taking the larger size of transistor, because in order to dissipate the large power to the surroundings, which is generated in the transistor, we are using some heat sinks, and that heat sink is placed at the collector to base region, and because the collector region is very high or is made very large, and hence the size of the power transistor is also high. And next, the transformer coupling is used for impedance matching. The transformer coupling is used for impedance matching. Normally, voltage amplifier uses some RC coupling. Power amplifier uses some transformer coupling. So here we are using some step down transform because loudspeaker impedance is very low. If you observe the figure, the loudspeaker impedance is low. Okay, and if you use the circuit at this stage, in order to deliver the maximum power to the loudspeaker, this impedance should be matched to this impedance. That is, the impedance of power amplifier should match with the impedance of the loudspeaker. Okay, so that's why it uses some transformer coupling, step down transformer. That means impedance matching. For the purpose of impedance matching, why we are using impedance matching? In order to deliver the maximum power to the load impedance should be matched with this impedance, or the power amplifier impedance should be matched to the load impedance or loudspeaker impedance. So in order to get some impedance matching, so here the power amplifier uses some transformer. Transformer gives some impedance match. Okay. So that is about this point. Next, collector resistance is made low. So here the collector resistance is low. So that is about the characteristics of power amplifier. So these are the differences between the voltage amplifier and power amplifier. Okay. Next one, classification. What is the classification of power amplifiers? Based on frequencies and based on the output of output signal or based on operating point. So here we have the classification. First one, classification based on the frequencies. So power amplifiers are divided into two categories based on the frequencies they handle. So they are, first one, audio power amplifier, second one, radio power amplifier. What is meant by audio power amplifier? What is meant by radio power amplifier? So the audio power amplifier raises the power level of signals that have the audio frequency range. It increases or it raises the power level of signals that have the frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Then they are known as, that means those power amplifiers are known as audio power amplifiers. Those power amplifiers are known as audio power amplifiers. So that is, it is in the range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. And next, radio power amplifiers. Radio power amplifiers are also called as tuned power amplifiers. And the power levels of signals that have radio frequency range, that is 3 kHz to 300 GHz. They are also known as low signal power amplifiers. So radio power amplifiers handles, or radio power amplifiers raises the power level of signals which has the frequency range, that is 3 kHz to 300 GHz. If the frequency range is in this range, then those power amplifiers are called radio power amplifiers. If the frequency range is in this range, that is 20 Hz to 20 kHz, those power amplifiers are called audio power amplifiers. So this is the classification of power amplifiers based on the frequencies. And next, classification based on the mode of operation. Classification based on the mode of operation. So that is in which mode the power amplifier is operated. So depending on that mode, we are classifying the power amplifiers as 3 types. And we can also say that those are 4 types we will discuss. So on the basis of the mode of operation, that is the portion of the input cycle during which collector current flows, the power amplifiers may be classified as follows. First one, Class A power amplifier. So what is Class A power amplifier? When the collector current flows at all times during the full cycle of the signal, the power amplifier is known as Class A power amplifier. When the collector current flows, that is the output current flows at all times during the full cycle of the signal, during the full cycle of the input signal, that means, so those power amplifiers are called Class A power amplifier. So in the Class A power amplifier, the transistor conducts for 360 degrees of the input signal. Full cycle means 360 degrees. Half cycle means 180 degrees. Okay. So if the transistor conducts for full cycle of the input signal, if you are applying some full cycle, that is positive cycle and negative cycle to the amplifier, power amplifier, if that amplifier or the transistor at that amplifier conducts for full cycle of the input signal, and we may get some full cycle at the output. So those power amplifiers are called class A power amplifiers. So like if you see the figure, first figure, so here we have full cycle at the output. Okay, that is, this is positive and this is negative. That means we can get some positive and negative signals. So that is 360 degrees at the output. We can get some 360 degrees signal, output signal at the output when we are applying full cycle at the input. So those type of power amplifiers. That means the transistor conducts for full cycle. So hence we can get some full cycle at the output. This is class A power amplifier. The transistor conducts during the whole cycle of the input signal. Okay. Next, second one, class B power amplifier. So when the collector current flows only during the positive half cycle of the input signal, those power amplifiers are called class B power amplifiers. In class B power amplifier, the collector current flows only, that is the output current flows only during the positive half cycle. During the positive half cycle of the input signal, that is only it conducts 180 degrees. In that power amplifier, the transistor conducts only 180 degrees, and at the remaining 180 degrees, the transistor is in off condition. So because of that condition, we can get some 180 degrees output at the 180 degrees output. Okay. So those type of amplifiers, 180 degrees of the input signal, those type of amplifiers are called class B power amplifiers. If you observe the figure, so this is the output signal for the class B power amplifier. At the input, we are applying some full cycle. At the input of power amplifier, class B power amplifier, we are applying some full cycle. And at the output, we can get only half cycle only. That is, if you apply full cycle at the input, we may not get full cycle at the output. That is because of the transistor conducts 180 degrees only. For the remaining 180 degrees, the transistor is in off condition. That's why there is no output signal. Okay. So in the class B power amplifier, the transistor conducts during only one half of the one cycle. That is one half of the input signal. So that's why here the wave is present, and during the remaining 180 degrees, the wave is off. That is output signal is 0. And again, we are applying full cycle, and if you are applying full cycle, only we can get some positive half cycle only. That is, it conducts only 180 degrees, and the remaining 180 degrees it will be off. That is output is 0. So this is class B. And next one, class C power amplifier. So in class C power amplifier, when the collector current flows for less than half cycle of the input signal, the power amplifier is known as class C power amplifier. In the class C power amplifier, the collector current, output current flows for less than half cycle. That is less than 180 degrees of the input signal. So those power amplifiers are called class C power amplifiers. If you observe the figure, this is class C, fourth figure. So in the class C power amplifier, the transistor conducts less than 180 degrees. The transistor conducts less than 180 degrees. Okay, so that means from 0 to pi means 180 degrees. And if you observe the figure, here we can get only the cycle in between 0 and pi. That is less than 180 degrees. Because in the class C power amplifier, the transistor conducts in that period only. Okay, the transistor conducts less than 180 degrees only, and the remaining cycle is absent. Again, if you apply some full cycle, we can get some less than 180 degrees only. That is 2 pi to 3 pi. Okay, so this is the case of class C power amplifier. And fourth one is class AB power amplifier. So there is also another amplifier. We can also call it as class AB power amplifier. It is the combination of class A and class B amplifiers. So, so as to utilize the advantages of both class A and class B, we can operate the amplifier in this region. So that is class AB means in class AB amplifier, we can also say that the transistor conducts greater than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees. Okay. Class A means in class A, the transistor conducts for full cycle. That is 360 degrees. What is class B? In class B, the transistor conducts for only 180 degrees. So in class AB means it is the combination of class A and class B. In class AB amplifier, the transistor conducts greater than 180 but less than 360. Okay. It is not class A, it is not class B. Okay. if you observe the figure, so this is class AB amplifier output, that is third figure. So in this figure, the transistor conducts greater than 180, 0 to pi, this is 180 and greater than 180. So if you observe the point here, it conducts greater than 180, but less than 360. 360 means 2 pi. Okay, it is not conducted up to 2 pi, that is 360. It conducts, that is the transistor in class AB conducts greater than 180 but less than 360. So if you observe the figure or if you observe the waveform, so we can get the point. So it conducts greater than 180 but less than 360. Okay, slightly more than half cycle of the input signal. Okay, slightly more than half cycle of the input signal. So this is the classification of amplifiers, power amplifiers, depending on the output waveform, depending on the mode of operation. And for each amplifier, the operating point may also vary. For class A, it is in the active region. For class B, it is cut off. So depending on the operating point, also we can classify the power amplifiers. Okay. So this is the classification of amplifiers depending on the output wave. In class A, transistor conducts for full cycle 360 degrees. In class B, transistor conducts for only 180 degrees. In class C, transistor conducts less than 180 degrees. In class AB, transistor conducts more than 180 but less than 360 degrees. Okay, so these are the waveforms for each and every amp. So thank you.